Hello YouTube, this is NJ Fullwider 5, and I decided that I needed a battery for my laptop. I ended up with a predicament where I was going to be using my laptop for 8 hours without, AC power. And typically my laptop watching videos, I usually get around 2 hours, and I needed something a little bit stronger. And I didn't want to just go with, a 19-volt system, because I have one of those gaming computers, the Republic of Gamers. The laptop uses 19.5 volts and I believe it's 9.5 amps. So I wanted something strong, and I had these batteries and this buck converter that I got from Battery Hookup, and this is a 20 amp buck converter. It's a pretty strong buck converter. I've used it with my my battery charger, the homemade one that I made not too long ago, and it did pretty good. I think I had it set at 12 amps at 5 volts, and it lasted all day. Not this one in particular. This was a new one. I didn't want to desolder the pots. I wanted to make sure that they stay stationary. I didn't want it to be bumped, because when you got it plugged into your laptop, you want to make sure that it maintains its voltage. You don't want to accidentally hit it and the voltage go down, or hit it and the amps go up. I'm sure it only use the amps that it needs, but I just wanted to make it where it was more of a non adjustable, where it's adjustable but where it couldn't be accidentally hit. So these are the outputs, and then I also added an extra input at the back so that I could charge it if I needed to. I also added the balance cables for 8S. I made sure that I did an 8S, and the only reason why I went with an 8S is because the biggest charger I have, or the most I can charge on any of my chargers, is 8S. I was thinking about going 9 or 10, and then because I got a BMS for that, but then I got to thinking about it. I was like, well, how am I going to charge that thing if the BMS isn't a how you can buy the BMSs that are just protection circuits, or you buy a BMS that actually has balance in it. All I have is a 10S BMSs with the protection circuit, so I didn't want to go that far. So I just went ahead and went with the 8S with no BMS, and I did it Tesla style with the fuses. The fuses are the ends to the quarter watt resistors, and believe everybody's getting 5 to 7 amps. The ones I tested not too long ago from the same resistors, I was getting close to 7 amps. So I guess we'll get into the video, and I'll talk a little bit more about this at the end. All right, YouTube, that was my take on this portable adjustable battery. I made sure that I had some kind of protection. You know, these little readers right here, they go up to 8S, and you can program them for like to send an alarm whenever the batteries get to 3.2, 3, all the way down to, I think it's 2.9 volts. I just left it where it's at. It's like at 3.3 volts, and I made it to where you can turn it off or on, of course, so it's on. I still need to bottom balance it. I haven't bottom balanced it yet, but fully charged right now, I'm only getting, you know, 415, 412, 414, 414, 413, 414, 412, 415, 33.1. So what I'm going to end up doing with this battery is I'm going to bottom balance it. The only problem I wasn't able to bottom balance it with my whatever you want to call it. I blew that on the when I was testing this one. You can't move those around. When you move them around, I guess the heat sink doesn't stay on there very well. And once the heat sink comes off, it heats up pretty fast and blows it. So I have to replace that. But once I do, I'm going to bottom balance this. I might end up making something. I've seen Jehu make a pretty good bottom balancer once, and I might end up trying to do the same thing. So turn this off. Whenever you're using it, you can turn this on to keep track of the voltages. It'll tell you pretty much how much energy you use, how much power you used. It'll let you know the current. Right now I have it set at 12.6, and it goes from 33, I'd say probably 30 volts all the way down to 5. Unfortunately, this thing only reads down to 6, so if you're going to be using anything under 6, you gotta break out with your good old trusty meters, your amp meters and voltmeters. This thing's off like 0.02, I believe it is. Let me see if I find one. Yeah, well, this one's off too. It's one above. But if I put it on my good meter, let's see. No, right now it's saying there's only one off. That's alright, that's pretty close. If I had to guess, it's probably 263.2639 or somewhere around there. But these little readers are pretty accurate from what I've seen online. That's why I chose this one. And then when you're done, just flip it off. And that's it. And in the build video, you'll see how I kind of threw a little 30-watt light on there just to check the amperage. The amperages is pretty close too. It's pretty good. Right now, I think I averaged it out. This is 11,500 amp hours at 30 volts. So I'm sure if you're using it at 12 volts, you probably get double that. And then if you were all the way down to 5 volts, you probably get triple that. You know, if I had to guess, 5 volts would be somewhere around 60,000 amp hours. If I had to guess, somewhere around there. Supposedly the buck converter is supposed to be 95 to 98% efficient, but I haven't tested that yet either. I'm sure that once I get using this on my laptop, I'm sure the readout, I'll get a pretty good readout and it'll let me know how far off it is. But yeah, here's my take on it. So I guess if you guys have any questions, or you know, like always, if you've seen something I probably could have done better, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will check you guys out in my next video.